There are many extremely creepy and dangerous locations on Earth that are believed to still contain dangerous radioactive materials. As is well known, radioactive materials that are released can endanger the people living in the area. Some of these locations are referred to as the most deadly former nuclear sites from the World War I or World War II era, because they are engaged the action to the regions of Line 70 Mia. Most people are concerned that residual radiation could continue to affect the surrounding environment for hundreds of years, even though these locations are claimed to have been cleaned up and are supposedly free of radioactive materials. Here are 10 places around the world that still harbor deadly nuclear radioactive materials. 1. Chernobyl, Ukraine. Chernobyl is the site of the world's most famous nuclear disaster, which occurred in 1986. The explosion at Reactor 4 released a large radioactive cloud that spread across Europe. To this day, the area around the reactor is known as the exclusion zone and remains unsafe for habitation. Although limited tourism is permitted, radiation levels are still high enough to cause long-term damage to the body. Trees grow abnormally, and wild animals undergo mutations. Chernobyl has become a symbol of the horror of nuclear technology when misused. It serves as a warning to the world about the dangers of reactors without maximum safety measures. 2. Fukushima, Japan. In 2011, an earthquake and tsunami struck the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. The cooling system failed, causing 3 reactors to melt down and release radiation into the air and sea. Hundreds of thousands of people were evacuated, and the surrounding area is still considered a danger zone. The cleanup of radioactive waste is still ongoing today and is expected to take decades. Radioactive water stored in tanks has become a global issue as Japan plans to release it into the ocean. Fukushima serves as a reminder that natural disasters can exacerbate technological disasters. The world is now re-evaluating the safety of nuclear energy. 3. Mayak, Russia. Mayak was a secret Soviet nuclear waste processing facility in Chelyabinsk. In 1957, a major explosion known as the Kishtum disaster released radiation over a wide area. More than 10,000 people were exposed and thousands of villages had to be evacuated. However, due to Soviet secrecy, the world did not learn of this tragedy for years afterward. The soil and water in the surrounding area remain heavily contaminated. Mayak serves as a cautionary example of the hidden dangers of the military nuclear industry. 4. Semipalatinsk, Kazakhstan. During the Soviet era, Semipalatinsk was used as the main nuclear test site. More than 450 nuclear bomb tests were conducted here between 1949 and 1989. Local residents were not informed and continued to live in the heavily contaminated area. As a result, thousands of people suffered from cancer, birth defects, and various radiation-related illnesses. To this day, children in the region are still born with abnormalities. Semipalatinsk is referred to as the laboratory of human suffering due to nuclear radiation. 5. Hanford Site, United States. Hanford was a site for the production of plutonium for American nuclear weapons during World War II and the Cold War. It was here that the plutonium for the Nagasaki bomb was produced. After the war, radioactive waste was disposed of carelessly, contaminating the soil and the Columbia River. To this day, the cleanup of the Hanford site is the largest and most expensive nuclear waste project in the world. Hundreds of tanks containing hazardous waste are still at risk of leaking. Hanford demonstrates that even though the goal was to win the war, the consequences can be long-lasting. 6. Sellafield, England. Sellafield is a spent nuclear fuel reprocessing facility with a long history of radioactive accidents. In 1957, a major fire released radiation into the atmosphere. The facility also discharged waste into the Irish Sea for decades, making it one of the most polluted seas. Cancer rates in the surrounding area are reported to be higher than the national average. Despite modernization efforts, many consider the facility to remain a hidden hazard. Sellafield is a symbol of a nuclear legacy that cannot be easily erased. 7. Kapustin Yar, Russia. Kapustin Yar is known as the site of Russia's secret rocket and nuclear weapons testing. Like Area 51 in the United States, this place is shrouded in mystery. Many tests are conducted without environmental safeguards, causing soil and water contamination. Residents in the surrounding areas have experienced an increase in rare diseases and cancer cases. The Russian government rarely releases official data, making it difficult to determine the exact level of contamination. Kapustin Yar highlights the dark side of the country's secret experiments. 8. Goiânia, Brazil. In 1987, a discarded radiotherapy machine was found by scavengers. They did not know that the machine contained cesium-137, a highly dangerous radioactive material. The blue glowing powder was distributed to family and neighbors because it was considered beautiful. As a result, 4 people died and over 250 were exposed to severe radiation. The city of Goiânia became the site of one of the most tragic civilian radioactive incidents. This incident underscores the importance of proper radioactive waste management. 9. Polygon, the Polygon, Kazakhstan. Polygon is another name for the Soviet nuclear test site in Kazakhstan, covering an area of 18,000 square kilometers. Tens of thousands of people live around the test site without protection. Prolonged exposure to radiation has caused mass birth defects and intergenerational genetic damage. Today, the region has become a site for long-term radiation research. Local communities continue to live with the effects of radiation, despite decades having passed. Polygon has become a symbol of invisible yet enduring suffering. 10. Pripyat, Ukraine. Area around Chernobyl. Pripyat was the town where Chernobyl workers lived before the disaster struck. After the reactor exploded, the town was abandoned in a hurry. Today, Pripyat has become a frozen ghost town. Radiation still shrouds its buildings, schools, and playgrounds. The city stands as a symbol of how, in an instant, life can be transformed by failed technology. Though it has become an extreme tourist destination, Pripyat remains fraught with hidden dangers.